Broadcasting live, it's Cream Pie Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
And now for your hosts, give it up for Josh and Rick.
Oh, yeah.
Dive on in, Baba.
Hey, friends.
Baba.
Hey, friends. No intro. Better attention. Cold open. Shitting in public. Eric?
Well, I've always been one to defecate in my own home. It's definitely been the preferred choice.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna shit in public, it's gonna be an emergency. But on the other part of that, every time I shit, it's an emergency. There's no buildup. There's just the bubbles, and you got roughly 15 to 20 seconds until it's just a Taco Bell hurricane, dude. It's just, I don't know.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Shitting in public is tough, but sometimes necessary. I will say, in my experience traveling for work and stuff, I often will revert to a grocery store. Is always a good option. But if you go to a grocery store, sometimes the bathrooms are grimy. Gas station is at the bottom of the list. You don't want to go to a gas station unless you absolutely have to. Gas stations are rough. But when you do have to shit in public, where do you go if you had to pick?
I mean, we talked about it on the pod last week, but when I was at Home Goods, that's a good one. Like a Bed Bath and Beyond, even a Home Depot wouldn't be bad.
Right.
But yeah, if you're like a Family Dollar or like a especially like a fast food restaurant,
Yeah.
dude, just go shit in the parking lot. That's what everybody else is doing. You know?
Pretty much. Especially back in California.
Yeah.
Ooh. I had to walk over a lot of human shit. That's actually true. I had to walk over human shit like 3 times when I was out there. But, woo! We're just diving right in this week, folks. Yeah. We're trying to keep the retention up in our videos.
Yeah, we had Josh change his shirt, and I got a green tattoo on my right arm, so we'll see if it's all f***y. It wasn't last week. It's not too bad, but
yeah.
I know one of these weeks I'm going to put on my high school graduation gown, and I'm just going to be all pixely and shit. I'm just going to deliberately like exploit that we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah. I might do the same.
Yeah.
Dude, the video this week turned out good. I got a lot of feedback that was positive today.
Yeah, the short was it got the most traffic out of any of them in the last couple weeks, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, we're back on the climb up, dude.
Yep.
We're back on the climb up. So how was your week?
It was all right.
Yeah.
There was a day where so I got a little dog, Spalding. He's under a year old. He's a little Bernedoodle, and one day he shredded a lamp cord, but it was to an outlet that you have to flip a switch. So he ate a cord that was not live.
Right.
So the next day, or that day, we tape all the wires down, we all do this and that, and then as soon as I leave work for work the next day, I get a notification that the Wi-Fi is off. I'm like, this little bastard chewed through a freaking wire, electrocuted himself. I'm gonna come home, my house is gonna be burned down, all this shit. I show up, and all he did was he found the Ethernet cord that went up through the floor from the basement into the modem. He just shredded that, but dude, it wasn't even like there's one cord and there's another cord. He shredded this thing. So every single little color and fiber and shit, I'm like, dude, you're going to freaking die. So I don't know.
That sucks. You ever been zapped? You ever been electrocuted?
No.
Oof. I have a few times. Especially with my AV.
Really?
Yeah. My AV job, I got zapped a couple times. Dude, the thing is, I would have to change like lighting control, like light switches and shit to like smart lighting.
Yeah.
And it would take so much more time to turn the breaker off and like go back and forth. So everybody on my team would like make you keep it on. So the electricity will be live. You just can't touch anything. But if you touch something the wrong way, and it happens fast, like you don't notice it, and it'll jump. Like if you get close to it, it'll like jump to your finger, and it feels like it's hard to explain. It's like a shot. It's like a punch to your hand. It's like
it arcs to your hand. Yeah.
Yeah. It hurts like a bitch. It's like ah. I was with a guy one day. He's bald. And he was leaning over and accidentally touched his head, and it fucking zapped him right in the head, knocked him over. Yeah.
The just to give you a little background on my safety profession, there's something called lockout tagout, which is like tagging out the breaker, tagging out the machine, making it so when you work on it, you don't get electrocuted.
Yeah.
I'm a big lockout tagout guy, so for all you safety ladies, I'm out there.
Yeah.
And by ladies, I mean all dudes.
Yeah. Let's be honest.
All the safety ladies are lesbians. That's just the way it works.
Sure. All the lady mechanics are lesbians too. It's just part of the way she goes, Bubs.
Okay, we got to get into this because I'm curious what the creamers know out there because maybe I'm totally oblivious.
Yeah.
You said two spirit. You sent me like a LTGQB whatever, but you put 2S and you said two spirits.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is two? I thought you were joking. I didn't know what that is.
Yeah, so the full acronym now, especially in Canada and like Europe, I mean, they do it a little bit in America too, but it's 2SLGBTQIA plus is the acronym. And it's two spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, what did I say? Intersex, asexual plus, which is like queer and all that other stuff. Oh, no, queer. I forgot to say, I don't think I said queer, did I? I don't know. I
don't know half of those, but especially, so going to the two spirits. So is that for Native Americans that are like they're like the Animorphs from when we were kids? Like they're half human, half horse. Is that what the gender is?
I don't know specifically, but I do know that there are trans people out there that do identify as animals and shit. Like they act like dogs, or they think that they're a dog, so they like have to have a litter box in their house or whatever the fuck. Or a cat.
So that's who it encapsulates, is the people that pretend to be dogs all day?
Well, I think it includes them. I don't think it's just them, though. I think it's anybody that feels like they have two spirits trapped in their one body. And it is cultural I can't talk. It's cultural appropriation from Native Americans, but they get a pass on it because they're gay. Broadly.
Oh, so you can't just be a dog. You got to be a gay dog.
Right, but then you're fine because you're a protected class now. So you can culturally appropriate the two spirit thing if you belong to the overall umbrella of what is anybody that's not heterosexual, which is like 30 different categories now.
Okay. I don't want to dwell on this for too long. I just wanted to know what the two spirits thing was because I thought you were fucking with me. Next, I didn't think that was a real thing.
Next, you're gonna tell me that you've never heard of cisgender. Yeah.
Wait. So before we get to cisgender, so you're telling me if Optimus Prime was gay, would he be a part of that community? Because there's a new Transformers movies where these Transformers are half robot, half like gorillas or eagles. Like that's the new Transformers. So if you have like a gay Bumblebee or a gay so that they'd be encapsulated.
No, you know that actually happened and for real. Like that's not parody. That's a real thing that happened. So in all these kids cartoons now, they're like introducing these theories to kids, and I think Bumblebee is non-binary. I'm not joking. I saw a clip from a kids show the other day. I always look at these clips.
It's not even a human.
Yeah, I know. But they want to be called they because they don't identify with either gender.
We should just rename this fucking podcast to the Gender Hour, and we can just discuss all things.
We always talk
confusing.
about gender. I mean, well, dude, it's literally like one of the biggest cultural things that's going on with the Western world now, and it's like a new thing in the past 5 years. I mean, it's always existed, but it's like a main topic, and it's crazy in a lot of ways. You know? So, but yeah, like the amount of kids shows that are like on Netflix. And anybody that's on the far left that hasn't seen examples of this will think I'm being transphobic, but if you just watch them, like they're literally convincing, like kids that are like 4 years old, they're showing them like non-binary characters, and I prefer to be called Jeff, and I'm a they them. It's like a dinosaur, and it's like Jeff the they them dinosaur.
I think in the world we live in, the conversations that we have, we would get canceled, and maybe we should get canceled. But I think at least I come from a perspective of not knowing, and I think that's important and part of the conversation because I ask these questions because I literally don't know.
Yeah,
and I'm not looking to piss Benny off, and obviously you guys will be able to tell if we bring up the two spirits things, and I make a comment 10 seconds later. Obviously, I didn't have a lot of time to dwell on that thought. You know, it just comes right out. You know, so I don't know.
Just call it like you see it, man. I mean, some of it's ridiculous. It's insane. It's crazy.
I even said it a couple pods ago. I was like, I'm fine if my son wants to be a chick or whatever, but I don't want him to be a dolphin. And now he can be a goddamn dolphin.
I just want people to be happy, but you got to understand, you want to get more people on your side. Maybe like move out of Crazy Town. at some point.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, you're pushing it too far. You're pushing all these people that are undecided to the right because you're showing my kids gay dinosaurs when they're 4 years old. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I can't be on your side now.
So go back to your question. So what is cisgender? I've heard them say that on South Park, but beyond that, I don't really know what that is either.
So cisgender.
Is that like is that when you're like overly fruity or no?
No.
No.
Quite the opposite. So cisgender, it's spelled CIS, I believe. And what it means is you identify with the gender that you were assigned at birth. So if you, like for you, for example, you're a male, you were assigned male at birth.
I'm a dolphin, but okay.
Yeah. Well, you're a guy, so you're assigned. So you basically agree.
Don't use the word normal. We will get canceled.
But that's what it is. You're a normal person.
So it's your birth gender.
But you agree with your birth, with the sex you were assigned at birth is equal to your gender that you identify with. So it's anybody. It's anybody that's not. You know what I mean? It's just like it's a way to marginalize the standard to make everybody.
So you and me are big sissies.
We're both cisgenders, yes, because we're both dudes and we're both assigned dudes. By the way, folks, if you see this line across my belly, it's just the sun. I got blinds. I'm sorry. I know. I just noticed it's actually moving up my body because the sun is moving in the sky. So, sorry.
That'll be good. Yeah, and I'm still wearing sunglasses because I'm still down here with all sorts of lights and shit. And I just looking at you, I'm starting to get all these like little lines from the light that's 2 inches below you. So it's a lot. So I don't know.
Hey, dude, can we do a CPS News exclusive? I actually just want to say it and see your reaction.
Fire it up.
This is a CPS News exclusive.
A restaurant called Horses in LA is under new scrutiny because Liz Johnson and Will Aghajanian, the two owners, are both business partners and they're married. They're going through a messy divorce. Liz accuses Will of being abusive and dragging her across the floor by her legs. And then they both have cats that are mysteriously dying in the house. And rumors are circulating that she walked in on Will pleasuring himself while strangling one of their cats.
Is that the story?
That's a real news story.
Why would you strangle a cat? Just strangle yourself, dude. That makes it way better.
It's all about the power.
What a weirdo.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Jesus.
So there's this.
I suppose you could put the belt around you and then like put the cat next to you and then tighten it at the same time if you really want to. I don't know.
That's weird.
That's why I'll never have a cat, you know?
Yeah, dude. I left my door open and my cat's actually wandering in here now, which is funny enough. So if we have an appearance of the cat in the podcast, she might just jump on my lap and she's not green or anything. Is that okay or should I?
Yeah, I was going to say, as long as she's not green, I think you're fine.
Hey, Nala. Yeah. But dude, so this couple is married. There's this really famous restaurant in LA called Horses. And the two people are married, but they're also the business partners.
Yeah.
Yeah, she accuses them of being abusive, and they have all these cats that are just mysteriously dying, and they don't know why. And then she walked in on him jerking off and strangling one of their cats. And so now people are like boycotting the restaurant and stuff. What's your take on that?
I mean, people do weird things, and I'm glad that people get caught doing weird things and that they shouldn't be able to get away with anymore. But so he's just picking up stray cats, or are they just like a house of like 80 cats?
No, they adopt stray cats, so they like rescue cats. So they have a lot of cats.
So they've got like a cat farm.
Had a lot of cats, yeah.
They're just roaming out in the backyard with all sorts of fucking
what the fuck? What's wrong with people, dude? It's so crazy. It's so demented. The animal thing, I never get the animal. It's got to be like something psychologically wrong with people that they want to torture innocent animals, especially like cats, like house pets and shit. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I'm pretty like I don't hurt animals, probably like most people. Mm-hmm. But I have also had the thought cross my mind of like if I'm in the backyard and there's like a coyote going after my dog, I would have no problem like killing that coyote with my bare hands. Like just
yeah.
flipping a switch and just like, all right, I'm going to protect this guy because
Yeah.
I paid a lot of money for him and I love him.
Right.
But you are just an animal that I've discovered 5 seconds ago, and I'm coming at you, dude.
Right. Understandable.
Not that I'm just running through the woods trying to kill coyotes. I don't do that anymore, but it's just
Coyotes are a crazy animal, dude. They're actually really interesting. So they're super smart. I mean, they're not domesticated by any means, but there's actually something that happens and why they become such a nuisance in North America. Like they started in the West, and now they're in like Manhattan. Like they've seen coyotes like through New York City and shit. Like, yeah. And there's no tags for coyotes. In almost every state, you can kill as many of them as you want. And I don't think there's a season for them either, really. Like, you go out and just kill 20 coyotes if you want, legally. Totally fine. But what happens is when they're in their pack, right? And they do a roll call. That's why they all yip and howl and shit. To like, something happens in the female's brain where if they're missing a coyote, like they lost one, a chemical will get released in her brain, so she has more pups in her litter. So like, it's kind of like, what's the snake where you chop off the head and two grows back? You know, the mythological beast that Hercules fought?
Yeah, I don't know. Something.
The Hydra. That's what it is.
Is that what it was? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I like that you're holding the mic this week, by the way. It looks good.
Yeah, man. I bought a 5-foot cord for last week, and then I bought a 20-foot cord so I could do this to realize that I'm 2 feet away from my interface. So I have an extra cord now. Whatever.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
awesome.
don't know. I've only seen a coyote once, and it was in the fall when I was driving to work in the morning. And it was just one of those. I mean, I live in New Hampshire, so there's all sorts of animals and shit. But I mean, it's like one day I can drive by and see like 8 turkeys just chilling on the side of the road, just like waiting to cross.
Right.
But I was driving one day and I saw it and I like look over and it's like, oh, it's a dog. And I'm looking at it and it's like, no, that's a very mangy dog. No, that's a fucking coyote, dude.
Yeah, they look like dogs. Yeah.
It's just like, it just triggers you so quick and you can just realize so quickly, like, no, that's a wild animal. Like, that is not just a dog that got away from its house for a couple weeks. That is a killing machine.
What's crazy is like how fast they are and nimble too. You ever seen them like running and shit? It's crazy. They can like leap, like boink, just like leap over shit.
I saw Joe Rogan was telling a story about how he had like chickens in his yard and he had like a real good boy. You probably saw the story, but he was talking about how the coyotes would come up to the fence and somehow the coyotes like trick the dog into breaking open the chicken coop so the coyotes could get in there.
Yeah.
But then Joe Rogan's like, no, literally like this is the best dog in the world, and I discovered that the coyotes fucked with him, and he just like they tricked him into doing this.
Yeah, his name is Johnny Cash, the dog. I've heard him
Was
tell
it?
Yeah. I've heard him tell the story a few times. Yeah.
He starts tearing up, dude. You can tell he's an animal lover for sure.
Oh yeah, but he hunts.
Yeah.
Which like most people that love animals hunt too, if you think about it in a way, like they're outdoorsmen. I know that's kind of like, it seems like if you're not a hunter, how that's counterintuitive. But dude, I mean, you're eating steak at the grocery store. I mean, if you go out and kill something, the thing about hunting, these animals are going to die anyways, whether it's from starvation or disease or natural predators. Like there's no death that ends happy in the wild. Like these elks are going to die. So if their death is an arrow to the heart and it only lasts 5 seconds and you use the entire animal and you eat their meat, if you're somebody that eats meat anyways, how is that cruel?
So what animals do we hunt? I don't know if people necessarily hunt coyotes, but I've never heard of anybody saying they ate a coyote. Unless you're like in the 1800s or something. I don't know.
No, I've heard of it. It's not like something people seek out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Usually the thing is, the other funny thing about hunting is people get more defensive over like predators. Like they think it's worse to kill a mountain lion for some reason than a deer. They like feel worse for the mountain lion, but that thing is like literally a killing machine. You know what I mean? So it's almost like they have more compassion, maybe because it seems rarer. I don't know why, but people tend to like predators for some reason. You know what I mean?
Well, those are the same hardos that like, oh, I was driving and I hit a bobcat and somebody gets pissed at you and they say, oh, well, that's essential for the ecosystem. It's like, yeah, well, tell that to my fucking bumper. You know, tell him to fucking get the $500 repairs, little bastards.
People hunt a lot of shit though, man. I mean, Texas pigs is a big thing because wild pigs are crazy out there. There's like them and the other one, the javelinas that look like pigs, but they're not quite a pig. But
Yeah, they're like those are the bastards with the tusks and shit.
yeah, they're
Right?
creepy
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
Those
Yeah.
are little asshole animals, dude.
Yeah. They're like they're like ruthless too. They'll like come right up to you, and
They're vicious, yeah.
I've seen crazy videos. Yeah. Bear's another one. Like fucking Teddy Roosevelt, dude, the teddy bear. Like we brainwashed this country so long ago to think bears are cute and cuddly and friendly. Those motherfuckers are literally giant killing machines. I already said that, but they're not. They're violent. They eat their young. Like they'll cannibalize their own kids and shit.
Yeah.
The male bears will kill the female's cubs to make her go back into heat so he can fuck her again. Like they are ruthless.
The growing up, my buddy Tyler, he was like my best friend all through like elementary school and middle school and shit. But his dad was a big hunter and they'd go hunting every year and all that. But I remember one time I walked into his house like through his garage and I was like staring at my feet and all of a sudden I'm like face to face with this skinned deer like just hanging dripping in their garage and I'm just like ugh.
yeah.
Not that I was like against it at the time or whatever, but it just like I was like I could smell it before I saw it and I'm like what the I was like holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
But I remember he used to give us like venison and all that kind of stuff and like venison jerky and all that shit, dude. If I knew somebody like locally that they could just give me like pounds of venison jerky, I would buy a freezer. I would buy all this shit just to keep this meat because pretty much all the meat that I have in my fridge right now is like in the refrigerator and it's gonna go bad in 10 days. You know,
I know. Yeah, it's tough.
I'm sure you know some. I mean, you might even have relatives where they have freezers full of bear meat and like elk and all this other crazy shit.
You know, my family never got into hunting. My dad doesn't like the idea of like shooting an animal, but I've always been intrigued by it. I kind of like the idea of doing it.
I kind of find that surprising. I thought that would be something your dad would be into.
No, he doesn't want to kill things, but he eats meat though. But he doesn't want to like do the deed himself. I think he's of the idea. A lot of people are of this, and I respect where they're coming from. They like eating animals that were specifically raised for food purposes.
Yeah,
but I mean, dude, if you eat deer meat, those are like athletes that run through the woods and shit. Like it's got to be so good for you compared to like a sick cow that's only 3 and you fucking blast it through the head.
I'm just laughing because you've probably seen like the billboards where it's like a cow and a chicken and a dog and a cat and they're like, where do you put the line? It's like an ASPCA billboard or whatever, and it's like, where do you cross the line? And then like somebody's like, right there. Like I don't eat my dog or cat, but I eat the cat or the cow and the chicken.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And, like they line it up specifically. So the 4 on the left you would eat and the 4 on the right you wouldn't. It's like that's the dumbest fucking thing. That's the same thing with the eat more chicken kind of deal. It's like this dumb, dude.
Yeah. Cows are actually pretty empathetic and smart creatures too, which is fun. And pigs are super smart. Pigs are smarter than dogs.
I think if cows didn't get so big, I think they would be more domesticated for sure. Because I've seen like a lot of videos that like people just like grow up with cows and they're just I mean, it's the same thing with like pigs. Pigs are smart as shit.
Oh yeah,
but unfortunately, they get up to 200 pounds
and they're delicious.
And they are delicious. They're just hard to manage, dude.
The other thing too is they're like a pig's main motivation factor isn't to please a human like a dog would be. A dog just wants you to be happy. A pig wants to do things for food. You know, like a pig will come to the door when you come home because he thinks you're going to feed him, not because he wants to see you. Like a dog, we domesticated them because they're so friendly and shit, you know?
Yeah.
Cows might have a little bit of that, but the other thing about it, the problem with a cow is they're ruminants. So they need to always be chewing and eating.
Mm-hmm.
And like regurgitating and shit. And you can't really do that indoors. You know, like they need to graze all day.
Yeah.
So you can't like bring a cow in the house.
I don't know if I've ever told you this. So I grew up in Wisconsin up until I was like 14. And you knew that. The Creamers don't know that. But in a field trip at the end of middle school, we went to a farm. And there was a cow in a room that was just kind of eating. And he had like a cork in the side of his stomach. Like just right on his side.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, whoever wants to put their hand inside this cow get to do it. So I was like, I literally ran to the front of the line. I was the first person to do this. I put on this glove that's like up to my shoulder. Yeah. And they just pop off the cork and I reach in there and he's like, just grab something and take it out. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, no,
weird.
just take it out. It's just like grass. I take it out. It's like smoldering like stomach acid and grass and straw and shit. And then he like shit on the floor, and I put it back, and I'm like, I'm fucking done, dude. This is this
so
went
weird.
from like cool to weird to creepy to like I'm slightly aroused, and I don't know what's going on.
I'm gonna fuck that cow hole.
I need everybody to leave.
Yeah, that's weird and gross. Yeah, I don't know why they do that. Another thing what happens, they get like gassy if they eat the wrong plants. Like if they have an infection of, I forget what it's called, sarsaparilla, no, not sarsaparilla, something like that will grow like in the fields, and they have to like exterminate it because the cows will eat it and they get real big and gassy, and they can die from having too much gas. So what they have to do is go and pop the cows. They have to like let air out of them, like. Psst.
So I mean, cows create methane, and I actually saw something a while ago now, but it was like certain farms feed them algae, so it like decreases the stomach gases and it decreases their farts, which helps the ozone.
Supposedly.
I mean, that's like, you know, say you have a farm with 500 cows. How many farts are you really saving? You know.
I know.
And you got some ass, and it's like, okay, you're doing that, but you're driving a fucking diesel truck.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Get an electric one, you pussy. Come on.
Yeah, even those are like, I don't know, dude. Those are like come from slave countries. The Congo, the fucking battery thing is a mess. You can't get rid of those. I mean, it's a tough thing. I don't know. I don't know the answer, but I don't think cow farts are the main reason what we're going through. You know what I mean? No.
I
don't know. I don't buy it. I think it's mostly burps too, by the way.
Yeah. Speaking of cows, have you ever heard the word Gorlock?
Yeah, I've seen the meme of the fat chick. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah. We're about to piss off the fat community, and I got 50 pounds to lose just in my gut, so I feel like I can rightfully say this.
Yeah.
That the first time I saw her was a video where she was saying, somebody was like, "So what do you do?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm a bad bitch." And they're like, "What?" Like, no, but like, what do you do? She goes, "I'm just a bad bitch."
Yeah.
And I'm looking at her, it's like, your head is like Meatwad from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. It's just a blob of meat.
Yeah.
And there's like little lips and like little eye holes.
Yep.
But like, god damn, dude.
That's what you get when you tell everybody how special they are, regardless of their effort they put into their body or their life or anything.
So I've rightfully declared her Gorlock the Inhaler.
Yeah.
So because she goes through the drive-thru, and before she's out of the parking lot, those 25 burgers are gone.
Dude, the fat phobia thing. This other new thing that's the craze now about how you should be proud of your body. And listen, whatever, dude. Be whatever you want to be. Be happy. I don't care, but you're not a warrior because you're 200 pounds overweight. You know, like you don't get respect because of that. It's like anything. Like you're not healthy either.
I think it's total horseshit because people that smoke get shamed. People that do heroin get shamed.
Yeah.
But if you're fat as fuck, you're beautiful. And like, I think that's dog shit because at the end of the day, if people really cared, like, all right, if the goal is to live a long, healthy life, do not be fat, do not smoke, and do not do drugs.
Right.
But it's like all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're beautiful. It's like, no, you need to lose like 150 pounds in the next 15 years.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to make it to 50. You know,
right.
That's the reality, dude.
It is the reality, man. But it's like all these body positivity. I understand that like clothing, Americans are fat. I mean, we're the most obese country in the world by far.
Oh yeah.
I think we're like,
dude, I'm sucking in my gut right now, man.
Oh, I probably should. I'm getting a gut myself. But yeah, you're not a warrior. You don't get rewarded for being 200 pounds overweight. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it at all. But Lizzo, thanks a lot, Lizzo. Dude, Lizzo, you're not hot. Now you can pretend you're sexy and you're all that, all you want, dude. You're fucking gross. Enough with the fucking dancing videos, wearing the skin tight outfits and shit. Everybody applauds you because you're fat and you go on stage. You're gonna die from a heart attack. I mean, that's what it's fine. Be whatever you want to be. Be it. It's fine. But don't expect me to praise you because you're a big fat pig.
I don't see. I don't have like a specific example, but there's some ones of like Lizzo, and they put like a caption of like, you know, whatever family of four is struggling to make ends meet, so Lizzo eats them or something like that. Just crazy shit. But the best one I saw for Gorlock the Inhaler was her pronouns are KG/LBS. So her pronouns are kilograms and pounds, and I thought that was hilarious, dude. I sent that to Jimbo, and within 5 minutes, he's like, dude, I sent that to so many people.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna get Jimbo canceled now too. We can bleep it. if you want.
Whatever.
Yeah. I like when Elon went on Twitter and put his pronouns are prosecute and Fauci. I thought that was funny as shit. Yeah, he's a troll, dude. He's like the ultimate billionaire troll. He's hilarious. Yeah. I'm a big Twitter guy now. I shouldn't be. It's a fucking dumpster fire. Every time I log on, I get more depressed. Dude, they're showing some fucked up videos now, too. I don't know what my algorithm is or what I look at, but I saw a guy that was run over by a train today on Twitter, and just his legs were sticking out. I didn't see him run over, but it was at a subway, and just his legs are sticking out like the fucking Wicked Witch in fucking The Wizard of Oz. You know, her legs are sticking out from under the house. It was like that. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, it's not good. By the way, there's going to be sunspots on me, Eric. I'm sorry, dude.
That's all right, man. We'll figure it out.
We're figuring out the lighting thing still. They don't care.
I'm in my basement, and you're in like a very well-lit room, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah. But, dude, the fucking pod looks good. Looks good. Yo, I have something I want to tell you. So, as a test, I've been testing the AIs, right? I argue with ChatGPT all the time. I get in arguments with Snapchat AI just when I'm bored and I have a few minutes to kill. I just want to see, like, what they think of things and, like, how biased they are towards certain things. I asked ChatGPT the other day. I said, a nuclear bomb is heading towards New York City. And the only way to stop the bomb from going off, there's no other solution. You have to say the N-word. Should I say the N-word to save millions of people's lives and potentially the entire world from nuclear fallout?
Never.
Yeah, it said, under no circumstances is it appropriate to say the N-word. What would you do in a situation like that?
If I was the Chad GPT?
No, if you were like, let's say, for the sake of it, let's say it's public. Let's say you have to go on live television and say the N-word to save New York City from being hit by a nuclear bomb. Would you do it?
I mean, after seeing what Randy Marsh went through on South Park, I don't know if it's worth it. But I mean, the thing is,
millions of lives,
do people know I'm saving the world, or am I just the guy that goes on
right.
live television, drops the N-bomb, the world continues to function as it is, and all of a sudden I'm fucking canceled. I get fired because I'm a racist and I got to go work at fucking Dunkin' Donuts.
Let's say, for the sake of this situation, this fake situation, let's say that people know that you're doing it to save the world.
I think my answer is that it's 2023 and I would never say it, but I would save the world. Let's put it that way.
Well, you can't save the world unless you say it, though.
I answer the goddamn question.
That's not the answer. You got to pick one. It's an ultimatum, Eric. It's an ultimatum.
Call me Chad. Call me Chad GPT.
It's an ultimatum, Chad. Tell you what, either way, I would say it because I would save millions of people. Sorry. That's the only time I would say it, but I would do it.
I mean, you'd essentially be a martyr because your life would only be over for like 5 years and then people would get over it. That's kind of the way it works.
I don't know, dude. Ask Kramer from fucking Seinfeld. That guy's the N-word guy for the rest of his life. But he did yell it on stage for no reason. So, but the other thing is, even if you told people you were doing it to save the world, with the way conspiracy theorists are now, they wouldn't believe that that's why you did it. You know? So it wouldn't even matter what your intentions were.
But you know what the super woke would say?
What?
I would let the world end. I would never say it.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. And that's why you are lame.
Dude, fuck that. I would say it. I would say it to save myself. Just myself only. If my only options are death by sword or saying it, I would have to say it. I'm not going to suffer a death. Like somebody is holding a machete up to your head and they're like, I'm going to cut your head off unless you say it. I would say it. I mean,
yeah,
I'm doing it to save my life, you know?
Yeah. I mean, this is very different. I don't know why I thought of this, but like the Saw movies where you have to like jump into a pit of needles and find a key to get this thing off your head. Otherwise it's going to rip your head in half.
Yeah.
It's the same shit, dude. Like what would you go through to save your life? Or like 127 hours when James Franco is putting a pocket knife through his freaking bicep and ripping his arm off.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do a lot of that, like self-inflicted pain, like to get away with shit.
Yeah.
But that's very different from like if you're getting attacked by a bobcat and like you're all bloody and destroyed. Like that's a different level of survival. But yeah, if I'm like pinned under a boulder, dude, I don't know what the fuck I would do. I'd probably wither away. And for how fat I am, I'd probably be there for 2 months. Just pissing and shitting all over myself.
Yeah, you'd live a long death, if you will. Yeah, it wouldn't be fun.
They would come find me and there'd just be a pile of shit up to my ass, so I'd just be like sitting in it by the end of it, and I was like, just take me, Lord.
That motherfucker was like 30 feet in the air too. That's a lot of shit. I don't think you can have that much shit in your body.
Like Randy Marsh when he's got the giant spinning turd. I'm just like on one of those. Just like they come find me. They're like, oh my God, we got like get the helivac here, and I'm just like, just kill me.
Yeah. I would do it. I think I could do that. I mean, I'm not in that position. It's easier said than done. But I don't know. I would be willing to chop my arm off to survive, I think. Or at least try. You know?
I think, oh man, it makes me cringe just thinking about it. But it was a farmer, and he was working with like an auger or something, and something was like, it was like stuck. So what he did is he reached underneath it, and he like dislodged it, and then it started cycling through.
Yeah.
And ultimately it sucked his hand in.
Jesus Christ.
And he realized that. And basically it was like grinding his hand through like a wheel mechanism and like breaking all the bones in his arm. So he realized that the only way to get away from it is to use his pocket knife, cut all the meat away from his arm, and then snap the bone off the bottom of the equipment and then run to get safety. But he's like, dude, I was bleeding out. This guy like ultimately like now he has like a hook for a hand and he's alive. Yeah. But it's like one of those. I saw this story. It was on YouTube. It was like a 10-minute video, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, damn. No way in fuck could I do that, dude. I would just die. Like, there's no way I could just like push myself to do that.
What you do is you dive in head first and get it over with.
You just like try to sneak in there.
Yeah, you put your head in it. Yeah. It just takes the top of your skull off, and you're still alive. You're like, fuck. Yeah. Dude, I always think about that. Like, what do you do if you're, I don't know if you've driven up and down the East Coast, like on a road trip. I mean, you drive, like, you've driven to New York a few times and shit. You ever go through like a long tunnel under the river or ocean? You know, they have those?
I don't believe so. I mean, I've driven to like North Carolina and,
okay.
I mean, to and from Wisconsin and shit, but.
So, Jersey has one. I think New York definitely has one. Boston has one. There's these long tunnels that are like a part of the highway that go underneath the river. And sometimes you get stuck in traffic under those things. So you're literally under, I don't know, 50 feet of water, you know?
Yeah.
And if you're stuck in traffic and you see water coming in, like just into the tunnel, like what do you do with that? It's too far to swim. So if your car is submerged, you can't like break the glass and swim to safety. It's too far of a distance, right? So what do you do with that? Do you sit in your car and like pray at that? Like, what do you do at that point? Or do you just get out and just run towards the water and just breathe in?
You should get out of your car and start. But it's the same thing as, say you're on like the Golden Gate Bridge and the cables are snapping and all this and shit. Like, what do you do? Do you just start running off the bridge, or do you jump off? Or like if the bridge is falling, like what do you do?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, when you're a little kid and you think about these things because you don't understand physics yet and shit. Yeah. You think like, oh, well, if this building falls, I'll just jump off the floor right before it hits the ground and I'll be fine. You know, like what? Like, why don't people, the Ferris wheel breaks, I'll just jump out of this basket before the basket hits the ground, and then I'll just jump off into the ground and I'll be fine. But you're still moving at the same, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the same logic as if you're in the back of a pickup truck and it's going 80 miles an hour and you jump out. It's not that you jump off a 3-foot.
Right, yeah.
It's the fact that you're going 80 miles an hour and you're still going that fast. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the acceleration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do in that situation. I always think about like 9/11 had to have been so horrible for those people. Like the ones that ended up deciding to jump because what else do you do? And they literally jump to their death. It's like fucking
But I have seen, even recently I saw something about like a survivor that jumped. Like
Oh, really?
He was like, he was super crippled. Yeah, he was like fucked up, but yeah, he survived. He jumped, but I think he was like 30 stories up and he landed on like the back of a car or something, and he survived, but a lot of them didn't, man.
No.
So
most,
I don't know.
That's like winning the lottery, and like instead of getting money, you just are crippled for the rest of your life. You can't move.
Yeah.
That's horrible. Like, that's the best case scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn. Brought up 9/11. Holy crap.
Dude, we're episode 22. We haven't brought up 9/11 yet. I don't think.
I think we brought it up maybe once or twice, but it's weird that realistically, like if there's you say the age of creamers are like 18 to 25.
Yeah.
That's a good chunk of people that weren't around for 9/11, you know?
Right.
So, I don't know. It's also people that don't know, like, at all. Like, the thing is I think the most recent comparison could be like the Paris bombings, or I don't know.
The
Even
Boston
that was a couple years
Marathon
ago.
was yeah. But even then, it's not like they're horrible tragedies, but 9/11 was so disastrous. You know what I mean?
That changed the whole world, dude. I mean, the way that we fly, the way that we travel, the way like borders are secured, the way like terrorists are viewed, like all this shit just ballooned because of that. And we went to war for like not no reason, but we were tricked into going into war.
For no reason, ultimately. We didn't think it was for no reason at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, the war on terror was a fucking 30 years, 20 years waste of time. It's fucking ridiculous. But
well, we also got a guy in the office that had like a 3rd grade reading capability. So
yeah.
George Bush is such a dumbass, dude.
I remember like people hated that guy when he was in office. And then after Trump, like you look back and even people that hated George Bush were like, he wasn't that bad. You know what I mean? It's like, he wasn't that bad. He choked. I remember he choked on a pretzel watching the Super Bowl and had to get the Heimlich when we were in school. And it was like this big story. Like George Bush chokes on a pretzel.
Well, it's weird now that like Joe Biden has dementia. He's like an idiot.
Yeah.
Trump was like a racist idiot.
Yeah.
And then before them we had Obama, and then before him we had George Bush, who was an idiot. I mean, other than like the racist people that didn't like Obama, I would consider Obama like a smart person. I don't want to get into the politics of it, but I think like intellectually, I think he was probably one of the more presidents.
He's like one of the best, most well-spoken presidents of all time. Like a perfect statesman. I don't agree with all his policies and everything, but at least he could like rally up America like as a whole and say the right things at the right time. Like he's so well spoken. He's a super intelligent guy.
I don't like that you use the word rally.
No,
that makes me uncomfortable.
No. That's because yeah. Dude, I think I'm gonna get canceled for this. I think Biden might be more racist than Trump.
Well, his son's a piece of shit too.
I mean, he said when he was running for office that if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. He said that to Charlemagne the God.
He doesn't even know where he is half the time, dude.
I know.
When he's done with these big meetings, they put like VR in his head, and then like his the guys that are like in charge of watching him 24/7 are just like, fucking A, man, finally. Like let him play around in Hello Kitty land.
He said
what did he say? He's got an interview tomorrow at 8 a.m.
He said poor kids are just as smart as white kids. He said that too. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's funny how he'll combine like different demographics for like unrealistic comparisons. Like he'll say like, oh, well, like the black community are the same as the elderly and the foreigners. And it's like, buddy, what the do you know what you're saying? And he's like, not at all. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
Chocolate chip, baby. Fucking wild.
What's your opinion on candy apples?
Ooh,
like caramel apples.
I haven't had a candy apple in a coon's age. Bleep that. Just kidding. I'm talking about raccoons.
Yeah, I hope you are. No, freaking. So Emily was on TikTok, which she does every day, and she bought a case of candy apples, and it was supposed to be 18 different types. So there's some with M&Ms on it, some with like chocolate chips and this and that. We get 2 boxes of these fucking things. I've got a vegetable drawer to the brim in my refrigerator full of nothing but candy apples because we have 36 of these fucking things.
Yep.
It's like, and she's like, well, I put these in the fridge so they'll last longer. And then these in the containers will be good for like 10 days. And I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, so you're telling me I got to eat 2 of these a day for the next 2 weeks?
Jesus Christ.
Like, Jesus Christ, dude. But I don't know. She did the whole like, I'm like, so what'd you buy? And she goes, oh, they're apples. I'm like, why are there 2 boxes? She says, oh, they must have doubled my order by accident. She didn't have to pay for that, but she's like, yeah, I only bought the 1 box. I'm like, well, we got fucking 2.
Damn.
Like, Jesus Christ, dude.
So are they candy apples or caramel apples? Because I think they're
caramel. Well, they're caramel apples. They're like some have like white chocolate dipped in like The one I had today had like pecans and like white chocolate chips and shit, but it's like it's all I get to eat for the next 2 weeks.
Dude, I like that reminds me of the fair because they always had candy apples at the fair. You know, it's like a fair treat. They get it like yeah, and I like them. They're good. You know, but the problem is when you're eating them, like you get to the apple and like the caramel starts to peel off and gets all slippery and shit. I mean, they're tasty, but dude, they're not good for you by any means. You get the apple.
You ever like when you're at the fair? Not that you go to the fair all the time, but you ever get the turkey leg, like the giant ass?
Oh yeah, oh totally.
Like the 8-pound turkey leg, and you're just walking around like a goddamn pilgrim, just like.
yeah. It's the best.
Yeah, that is the best, dude. And it's like $15, but fuck it, dude. It's at the fair. Who gives a shit?
I like fried dough at the fair. Always get the fried dough. You know what I like to do at the fair is look at the sheep nuts. You ever do that?
They have huge balls, dude.
It's crazy. You ever see sheep balls? Oh my God.
They're massive.
Massive. Like insane. If you don't believe me, creamers, go Google sheep nuts and get back to me because, woo, baby. Yeah, they got some fucking big old boulders.
I like going to the fair because it's a good melting pot of everybody. Like there's the very poor and then there's like the very rich throwing coins at the poor. And
what kind of fairs do you go to? It's all fucking poor white trash people, everyone I've been to.
Yeah, it's usually just poor people. I'm just trying to say I'm part of the rich throwing nickels and dimes at fucking Section 8 housing people, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like every time I go, it's like a huge pumpkin that's 400 pounds or they're doing I remember I went with my family in high school and they were doing the oxen pulls where they're like whipping the oxen, trying to like, they're timing like how fast they could drag something from like A to B.
Yeah.
Dude, I was in there and my sister was like, it was kind of because of this, became like a big like animal advocate. Right. Because she was in there and she lost her shit, dude. She freaked out. She was like bawling her eyes out and like ran out of the barn.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck was that all about? She goes like, she's like, how can you watch them do that to those animals? And it's like, I don't know, man. It's not my world. You know, I don't have to understand it. I'm just here to sit and watch, you know?
I mean, I get it if you're using an animal to like work or accomplish something, but for just the purpose of only entertainment, you're like torture. That's the thing. Like, I'm not from the South, so I don't get it, but there's a rodeo out here soon. They do rodeos down here. Mm-hmm. And I feel bad for those animals that do like the bull riding, for example. You know, they like tie like the bull's testicles to like make him more pissed off and beat the shit out of him. And then you get to send him out and like he tries to kick you off. Like I'm kind of on the bull's side in a way. It's like kind of mean, you know, not kind of mean. It's super cruel. But it's a tradition. They've done it forever, you know? I don't know. I don't get it.
So what year do you think it'll be when we have televised people one-on-one fight to the death?
I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, we basically do it with the MMA now. I mean, you could technically kill somebody. It doesn't happen, but I mean, it could, you know? But
I'm just wondering, like you've seen Idiocracy where they have the guy do the giant event at the end and Captain Camacho or whatever is in the giant monster truck and he's trying to run him over and it's just all that shit. But
yeah,
I'm wondering because back in the day, I mean, gladiator shit was real stuff, you know, like,
oh yeah. Yeah.
Everybody, it's like, that's what you did on a Sunday. People wouldn't listen to Cream Pie Sunday. They'd go watch their uncle kill 3 other peasants or whatever.
Yeah. What's crazy is those gladiators were like slaves too. Like a lot of them didn't have a choice.
So that's what made me think of it. It's like, all right, so say you got 2 people that are homeless, you know, that they want to pit the homeless to kill each other, but you know, you want to pit people against each other that have nothing to lose. And if they can win 5 battles, all of a sudden they get a plot of land or they get money or something. But I guess it's all in the MMA shit too. You know, it's all.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing it by choice completely and they are wealthy and they make a lot of money and it's literally like the most dangerous sport on earth, but they're choosing to do it. Yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm kind of for let's evolve as a species to not get to a point where we pay people to kill each other on camera. Hopefully, you know?
I mean, we also would hopefully get to a point where military is not required. Like, wouldn't that be nice if the whole world was all freaking rainbows and unicorns and shit? We didn't have to have people shooting towel heads all over the place.
Whoa, hey, we're going to have to bleep that one.
I'm a red-blooded American, dude. I don't give a fuck. I'm just kidding. I love all you fucking Jawas. Sand people.
Oh my God. This is getting bad.
It's a Star Wars reference. Come on.
Yeah, sure.
That's also a South Park reference, so it's not even original racial.
Dude,
whatever.
I want to talk about one more thing real quick.
All right, bring it up.
If you've lasted this long, Creamers, we thank you. I feel like people listen to the first half most of the time, but the true fans stick it out. Did you see this Meghan Markle and Harry bullshit that happened?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I hate these people. Do you know who they are?
Yeah.
Okay. So they claim that the paparazzi chased them a high-speed chase for 2 hours through New York City a few days ago in a dangerous, like near collisions car chase, right? And, Harry's mother died this way, supposedly.
Yeah.
Like she was running from the paparazzi and crashed a car. I mean, there's a lot of conspiracies about this. Who knows?
Yeah.
So he might be sensitive to the subject. But they claim that they were chased in a violent car chase through New York City for 2 hours straight a few days ago. They interviewed the cab driver that was driving. He said there was no car chase. They interviewed the police, the NYPD. They said, we didn't seem like it was a car chase. There's no footage of anything. There's no cell phone videos of anything. It's literally like the worldwide apology tour that they made fun of in South Park. But they're just proving South Park right at this point. Nobody believes them. In fact, the cab driver said the car ride lasted 20 minutes. And they got right to where they were staying at, and they were fine. But they came out with this, dude, high-speed chase for 2 hours through Manhattan, New York City.
That's not high speed anything, dude. You can't go over 20 miles an hour. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So that's what they claim. Yeah. So I wanted to bring that up.
The only people that are able to go on high speed chases are people that are being chased on foot through Manhattan. Yeah. You cannot. People that are jogging go twice as fast as fucking vehicles.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're in a taxi.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You can't like fucking hovercraft to where you need to go. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Mm-hmm. Freaking boners, dude. Yeah, boo-hoo. Go fudge yourself.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. I don't like them. I don't like them at all.
No.
Oh, is that a dog bark?
Yeah, upstairs.
Oh.
He's probably chewing more fucking Ethernet cords, little bastard. And I lose you.
Yeah, that's all right. It's all low voltage. You won't get zapped from those. You'll be fine. Well, dude, I mean, I didn't really have to use my notes. It's a decent pod. We're getting better at the videos, I think, right?
Getting there, man.
We're getting there. We're getting there, everybody. Do you want to tie a creamy little bow on this thing, and then we can tell the viewers we'll see them in a week and cream it up once more?
I would love to. All right.
Okay.
So when you're going to work or you're just driving through the neighborhood and you see these signs that say slow, children at play, before you put your foot to the floor and try to run them over, just remember, once they were cream, and so were you.
All right, ending on a sour note. Let's go. All right, everybody.
I would call it a creamy note, but whatever.
Stay creamy for one and for all. Till next week.
Bye.